It's harmless fun at this point, but going into next year, I think I would like to see NASCAR take it a little more seriously. And when I say that, I essentially mean don't start the tournament at a super speedway next year. Can we start it at a more conventional racetrack so that at least some of the fan favorites make it through the opening round? Didn't get that this year, and as a result, I feel like a lot of fans kind of just tuned it out. I'll just say 60%. It was an okay race, not amazing. I guess my expectations for Dover are kind of in here anyways.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of the most respected names in NASCAR, found himself at the center of controversy after defending NASCAR's handling of the Dover Motor Speedway race. What began as a routine race day post on X turned into a digital storm of fan backlash. Dover was interesting for sure. Great run to the finish. Glad NASCAR gave it the best effort to see the checkered Indy next, Dale Jr. wrote, a comment that would ignite widespread criticism. The EchoPark Automotive 400 at Dover, run under sweltering conditions with a mid-race rain delay, showcased many of the current frustrations fans have with the next-gen car, particularly its lack of adaptability across track types. Fans were already unhappy, and Dale Jr.'s perceived endorsement of the event sparked an eruption. Dover Motor Speedway, notorious for its physically demanding surface and need for strategic precision, hosted what many fans saw as a deeply flawed race. Despite the heat and rain delay, NASCAR pushed to complete the race under green conditions. Unlike the Xfinity race, which ended early due to weather, the Cup Series managed to squeeze out a finish. Denny Hamlin took the win after leading 67 laps, surviving 3 restarts in the final 10 laps and holding off teammate Chase Briscoe by just 0.310 seconds. Hamlin's victory, though impressive on paper, raised more questions. He did it while staying out on worn tires, even as drivers with fresher tires like Briscoe couldn't make successful passes. This very issue, tire performance and lack of passing, was at the heart of fan discontent. Comments poured in criticizing the racing product. "It sucked! The damn aero-blocked GT car sucks! We have to quit excusing this," one viewer raged. Another added, "The rain was the most interesting part of the race. It's so ridiculous that a guy on fresher tires cannot pass the leader in this car." Others mocked Earnhardt Jr.'s reaction. "Only thing interesting was the resumption. Before that, boring snooze racing," one said. Another called the race painful to watch, accusing NASCAR of straying far from its roots. "Parades are for Indy cars." The new next-gen car, designed to create parity and enhance intermediate track racing, has consistently drawn criticism for its failure on short tracks and superspeedways. Its aerodynamic profile creates conditions where leading cars dump dirty air onto trailing ones, making overtaking incredibly difficult. That frustration came to a head at Dover. With only 13 lead changes over 400 miles, the race felt stagnant. Chase Elliott led for 170 consecutive laps, and Christopher Bell for nearly 50, cementing perceptions that once drivers grabbed track position, the race was essentially locked. Tire compound changes also played a role. NASCAR introduced a new set of tires for this race intended to improve competition. Instead, elite teams like Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing adapted better than others, maintaining front positions while passing remained scarce. Fans were unimpressed. The final laps were marked by chaos. Christopher Bell spun while trying to pass Hamlin, triggering a multi-car incident that took out William Byron and Noah Gragson. Even after that, Briscoe, on better tires, couldn't pass Hamlin during the final restart. Hamlin held firm, winning his second consecutive race at Dover and the 58th Cup win of his career. This backlash wasn't just about one race. It reflected a deeper tension within the NASCAR community, between tradition and innovation, between drivers and fans, and between performance and spectacle. Dale Jr.'s status as a Hall of Famer and team owner typically shields him from criticism. But in this case, even he wasn't spared. Fans slammed the racing style, the Gen 7 car, and the lack of unpredictability. Some longtime viewers reminisced about the old days of bump-and-run battles and unpredictable endings. Dale Jr. had earlier posted, "This race today at Dover is going to be a hot one. Absolutely miserable inside the race car. I do not miss this part of it. Damn, it's going to be difficult. Lucky for some of the technology, we have today. His acknowledgement of the physical challenges didn't soften fans' views. The heat inside next-gen cars can exceed 130 degrees Fahrenheit, and combined with the race's strategy-dependent nature, the event became a grind, both for those inside the cockpit and those watching from home. Still, not all the comments were negative. Some fans appreciated Jr.'s honesty about the conditions and his attempt to spotlight the sport's commitment to completing races. But these voices were drowned in a sea of calls for reform, better tire strategies, car design changes, and more dynamic racing. Even nostalgia didn't shield Dover. One fan said, "Probably worst oval on the schedule." Place has never not been all about track position. Earnhardt Jr., who himself has 2 career wins at Dover, including the 2001 race, likely didn't expect the intensity of the backlash. Yet it reflects the growing gap between NASCAR's direction and fan expectations. NASCAR finds itself at a crossroads. The next-gen car promised a new era, tighter competition, technical parity, and cost containment. But races like Dover expose the trade-offs. Strategy and setup now matter more than driver aggression, and the lack of overtakes leaves fans feeling robbed of action. Ultimately, Jr.'s message wasn't wrong. It was just mistimed. He praised NASCAR's resilience on a weekend when fans wanted accountability. He emphasized completion when the audience demanded competition. That disconnect sparked the firestorm. The EchoPark 400 may be over, but the debate it sparked will continue. Fans, drivers, and analysts alike are now looking toward Indianapolis, not just for the next race, but to see whether NASCAR has taken this backlash seriously. Because for many, Dover wasn't just a race, it was a warning. With so much riding on the future direction of NASCAR, fans are watching closely to see whether meaningful changes will come. The tension between maintaining the integrity of competition and responding to technological demands has never been sharper. Veteran voices like Dale Jr.'s are influential, but when that voice clashes with the prevailing sentiment, it reminds the industry just how passionate and divided the fan base can be. Whether this moment prompts serious introspection or simply fades with the news cycle remains to be seen, but what's certain is that Dover has reignited a crucial conversation about where the sport goes from here.